Play of the game from way down.
True, Silence, Rainer getting absolutely
A team wipe.
The living bomb's going.
Oh my goodness, the ring! Bob says Nico gonna find Rainer!
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. We're live and ready to go with the Division C East NGS Season 8 matchup between ReGen Anomaly and Illidancing Queens. We're getting into the lobby now, so let's take a quick peek at what we've got out there for the maps. On our map bans, ReGen Anomaly started off with the bans on Cursed Hollow and Dragonshire. Illidancing Queens banning out Alterac Pass and Tomb of the Spider Queen. And if you are, if you're not familiar with these teams, these are two Division C East teams here, ReGen Anomaly and Illidancing Queens. Let's take a quick look at the standings here. ReGen Anomaly currently in 3rd place with Illidancing Queens there in 6th. Now, overall, let's see here. So, with those points, ReGen Anomaly has played 3, Illidancing Queens has played 4 games so far, and let's see. So ReGen Anomaly has won 2-0 over Lubu, they won 2-0 over Deep Fried Ragaros, and they lost 2-1 to 2 calculated to throw. And then Illidancing Queens have played 4 games, so they're 1 game farther here. They lost 0-2 against Die for Vision. They defeated Lubu 2-1. Lost to Please Clap 2-0. And 2 calculated to throw defeated. They defeated them 2-0. So 2 wins, 2 losses for the Illidancing Queens here. And welcome everybody. Happy New Year. It's the start of 2020. Let everybody know that I'm all set because we do have both teams here. So we're going to Towers of Doom first, and Towers of Doom being a very unique map, we could see a variety of different heroes. We could see a Genji, not a Genji, my goodness, a Garrosh. Zarya is a combo we've seen out of Anomaly. We could see Deathwing on this point. We've seen Illidancing Queens play that. Certainly the poke potential of a Li Ming, as either team has displayed that. We also have the Zul'jin out there, so Zul'jin has some potential play here, and possibly even some Maya. So a lot of potential options here for both teams to come into. They may have? Did they play that? I don't remember. So already looks like both teams are ready to go, so we're gonna get this started. First game of the year, everybody. And nobody saw this one coming. You almost had to have 20/20 vision to see this one coming. Such a bad pun. I hate that so much. I hate myself for even saying those words. But we'll see what kind of bans we're gonna get here today at the beginning of this. Illidancing Queen's coming up first here. Now they've played 1 game with Deathwing. ReGen Anomaly has not yet played with Deathwing. So I wouldn't be surprised if oh okay, so I have an extension that I apparently just never turned on, and apparently that's the sound for somebody hosting me. So, again, Jesus, thanks for the host. Appreciate it. All right, so Kael'thas and Auriel, so 2 really strong heroes there. Kael'thas gets a lot of value with his spread living bombs, but also just the zoning. But Ariel here, pretty much top tier, and I'm not surprised to see her banned out, because it's just so frustrating to play into that, you know, get a kill, overall be winning the team fight, and then you just don't. It was on my side, Murda. When you get this, I was confused. I thought it was my phone or something. But yeah, it's this event alert thing that was built into Twitch extensions. So Deathwing is going to be the 4th ban here, final ban of the first round. Let's see what we get now. First pick on the side of Illidancing Queens. And it's going to be the Johanna. Johanna being the overall strongest tank for a very long time. Pretty much first pick, first ban for quite some time. And then they did do a little bit of a nerf. There you go, Valkymer. Thanks. So Littlerock going into the Varian and Carve into the Sylvanas. And I mostly assume that's going to be a DPS Varian, but it may not be. Taking like a Twin Blades into Johanna can be a little bit of a challenge. Could be a C Smash, but it also just gives them the flexibility. They could always send that over to another player. And Born to Shine going to pick up that Rhaegar with Yotaru taking the Vala. So right now, so Vala, if they can go taunt, then Vala would be a quick, easy blow-up target if they can get to her. Of course, there's a potential for blinds. Also, of course, the thing, Ancestral. So Greymane's still available. Jaina's still available. Even Kerrigan has been played by Anomaly, so, you know, we could see any of those. Li Ming goes well with the Varian Taunt, if they choose to go that route. Full Mango hasn't picked their solo lane yet, so that could be a Rexar. Could be what we're looking at here next. And there's the Greymane ban. Greymane got some love in that patch a couple weeks ago, and he's been very strong since then. Well, he's always strong, but stronger. So I assume we're going to see their tank and maybe their healer here, or maybe even their solo, if they're not going to use that variant as the solo. Oh, okay. Well, then it is a taunt variant. So there you go. So we're going to see Tracer and Malfurion the pickup here. All right. Now to go with this Vala Johanna, so we could see a Malthael, maybe even a Mal'Ganis in theory. One of those mages as mentioned earlier. It's going to be Ragnaros and Uther. All right, all right. So Shui, is Lid the new tank for Anomaly? And there's the Rexar. Okay, so make sure that those are all correct. All right, let's get our poll in chat. Who's going to win game number 1? Anomaly and Illidancing Queens. All right, poll in chat. Hit the drop down there. And who do you think's going to win? Is it going to be ReGen Anomaly on the left, or is it going to be Illidancing Queens on the right? Vote in chat. Make sure you hit the button and then actually hit vote, otherwise it won't count that. Make sure that we didn't see any people switching around here. Doesn't look like it over there. And I think we're okay over here too, yeah. Gotcha. All right, thanks, Shree. Appreciate it. So ultimately, we've got the almost portrait synergy on both sides. Born is clearly on the wrong team. Like, Born and Mango need to switch based on their portraits here. So, okay. So we've got Taunt along with the Malfurion route, potentially a Misha charge in there. If Rexar is with the team, looking to get in on somebody. But a lot of defense here on the side of Illidancing Queens. They've got the Uther armor, they've got the AoE healing from Rhaegar, they've got the, you know, occasional healing from Uther as well. Ragnaros is going to keep him in the XP game. Open Rebellion. Oh, sorry, Valkymer. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it works on mobile. I'm sure there's a way that it works, but at least for right now, I don't know. All right. I think the vote is coming up soon. There it is. All right, so 60% voting in favor of ReGen Anomaly. We'll see if chat is right with this. Ah, there you go, Shui. That makes sense. All right, so who's our potato? Uh-oh, Born's our potato. Just waiting on Born so we can get this game started. Let's see, what do the teams look like on Towers of Doom? So, ReGen Anomaly hasn't played Towers of Doom so far this season. And looks like Illidancing Queens has played here just once, and they lost that game. But let's go ahead and get our teams introduced. Off to the right here, we've got Illidancing Queens. It's going to be Hooked on Phoenix playing the Uther, Fury Popsicle on Johanna, Sezdrin on Ragnaros, Yotaru on Vala, and Born to Shine on the Rhaegar. Off to the left, we've got ReGen Anomaly. It's going to be Anners playing the Malfurion, Carve on the Sylvanas, Litorok playing the Varian, Genjesus on Tracer, and Full Mango on the... who is that? Rexar, of course. And we have a pause. Doesn't really say specifically why, I guess. And at this point, I mean, I'm not worried about showing the outside. So let's take a look at these talents while these teams have themselves a good old time. So Rhaegar going into Colossal Totem, getting that extra area and range. Uther saying, you know what, I don't need a talent. Same with the Vala and Ragnaros. Hold Your Ground going to be the option here for Johanna. We're going to see that Celestial Alignment for Malfurion, give him the additional damage on his autos when they're moon fired. And right away here, Fury Popsicle taking a bunch of damage. Again, Jesus going in, looking for that. As Rhaegar appears to be offline again. And Misha charging in, gets the stun onto Ragnaros. Alright, we'll be back in just a moment here. As once again the Rhaegar has gone offline, so a little bit of a delay here. So she's running out. Yeah, I noticed that too, Akhtar. The toy train mount seems to have pretty much just gone the way of nobody caring. So hopefully they will work out the connection issues here soon. Let's see. Never had any friends who played tabletop card games. Let's see. What was that? Star Wars Rebellion tabletop. I could probably find somebody who has, if you want some info about it, Valkymer. I know some people that play a lot of board games in general, so could probably see if there's somebody out there. Well, chat is having a good time with the circumstances here. Just waiting on Born's computer. Sounds like apparently Born's on vacation and wasn't expecting to play today, but they had somebody who could not make it, and so she's having to play from another location. So we'll see. So how you guys doing today? It's January 1st, beginning of the year. Did you have any fun and exciting plans last night? Anybody get themselves unbelievably wasted? Let's just call it even and have your healer DC. That was the response. Makes sense. Have both teams just DC, no healer. Who needs a healer in this game? You know, I do have to say, the one time that I had to play a bunch on a hotel internet was when I first moved out here. It was 3 years ago, and was in a hotel for 4 days. It was absolutely amazing. It was over Christmas weekend though, so you know, maybe that was part of it. Maybe, you know, the hotel wasn't nearly as busy as it would have been normally. I don't know. So yeah. All right. Well, anyways, Shui got effed up last night. He says, Silvara watched the replay cast. You know what? And good on you, because there wasn't a whole lot going on last night. Some silly ball thing up in New York City, but you know, getting the opportunity to watch some HOTS is always exciting. Somebody needs to tell Born to go sit next to a window. The signal's better there. You know what? That's probably what it was. Yeah, because I did have a hardwire there, Shui. And yeah, I mean, you're right. Wireless is always garbage. Wireless, you're like, hey, let me go look at the news site, and 14 minutes later, you're still waiting for it. Yeah, that's interesting, Murder, that you bring that up about the cell phones. I haven't personally tried it, but I have definitely played with people who have. And for the most part, you're right. It just seems to be fine. I think I've seen a couple people who've dropped because of it, but it does seem to work out okay. Depending on the hotel, though, I mean, obviously, you know, I've had difficulties even just getting regular signals in hotels, so so that may or may not be an option. I'll pass that along to Born. Oh, they started. All right, well, let's get back into this. All right, well, Born to Shine is back, so what do we got here for talents? So again, we've got that Hammer of the Lightbringer for Uther, and Johanna's coming down is in an aggressive position here by ReGen Anomaly. The stun going out onto Tracer. Tracer hitting that Pulse Bomb, but Hooked on Phoenix is going to be the first blood of the game. Uther using that flash of light to heal up his team just a little bit there. And with that kill, ReGen and Anomaly is going to make their way onto the aggressive Sapper camp, which just conveniently came up right as they were nearby. So that's going to get them a tower. And how much? I wonder how much XP that was worth. The root going out does prevent Johanna from catching up. Let's see, structures 250. So that is that's double what the structures are. Yeah, just making sure that they didn't somehow manage to get another tower somewhere. Double what the structures are in other maps. So just as a reminder, the value of structures on Towers of Doom, you do get XP from structures. Hooked on Phoenix in danger here as Tracer coming after him. Ultimately does walk out of there safely. And level 4 coming up for ReGen Anomaly. They're just a little bit ahead in the overall XP races. Ragnaros is up in the top trying to catch up. Did go into that Blast Wave build, but Ragnaros now walking right past the Tracer. And I don't know. If he's got, I was going to say, if he's got Pulse Bomb, then this could be very dangerous for Ragnaros, but he's able to make it out. And the aggressive camp invade there from Illidancing Queens, recognizing that Tracer was up top and Rexar was as well. So the double altar phase coming out now. And we'll see how these teams elect to split up. So Rexar's still pretty well top, gathering the soap up here and keeping that pressure moving forward. So we probably see Ragnaros and Rexar gather their own, and the rest of the teams head down into the bot point, which is so far what it looks like is going to take place. Let's put these away for a moment here. It is taunt varying. There's the root onto Uther. Also the healing penalty from the roots, Vengeful Roots. Right now, Johanna falling very low. So is Uther, though. Uther looks like he's going to be the first to fall in this. Tracer getting very low, but nobody able to finish. Never mind. Hammer from Rag finishing the job, and it's going to be Varian and Sylvanas following shortly thereafter. So that's going to give now the double altar points, 8 points, over to ReGen Anomaly as they were able to gather that in the middle, because I wasn't paying attention. So there you go. Got some kills, put Illidancing Queens up in XP just a little bit, about a half a level or so. So they'll be getting level 7 here shortly. Looks like we've got that multi-shot build coming out from Vala. Continuing on with the Blast Wave there for Ragnaros as well. Double cleanse coming out for Rhaegar and Uther. They really want to make sure that if that taunt comes out, that whoever has it can get out. And there's the slow coming on. Varian getting stunned. He's going to be able to make it on the other side of the wall. The taunt, however, going out onto Rhaegar, but that doesn't matter. With the cleanse, he's still going to fall. Uther getting the stun onto Carb. Sylvanas getting very low, is going to fall there to Vala, but Vala going to follow shortly thereafter. And Popsicle trying to make it away from a Tracer who's chasing them down, and now Uther getting the Pulse Bomb. The root coming out just a little bit too late. Uther healing himself up there. And we do have this Holy Shock, so he's able to continue to heal both himself and harm enemies on a reduced cooldown, 6 seconds, which also gives him that Devotion armor, which is very helpful. And double altar phase up here in the top. At least for right now, looks like the teams are probably content just sticking to their own side, although Johanna, thinking maybe she's going to go stall this out, is going to have to hit the Iron Skin there. Tracer, though, is just fine, but Johanna might not be. Very close, so no deaths out of that. Both teams pick up their 4 points, and Uther working on the bot lane here. Bot lane being the most important, it's got double camps. And that aggression looks like it's going to cost Uther his life. So just the towers and a wall down here. A little bit of damage onto the fort. But the mid and bottom altars are the next ones. And Sezdran looking for Rexar. With the slow on his Blast Wave, they might be able to get him. Maybe not. The swoop there slowing them down. Bornstein coming in as well as Yotaru, so Rexar going to fall. And the siege camp picked up in the bot lane by ReGen Anomaly. They're going to try to equalize this out, get this tower down. The level 10's online, and it's going to be Lava Wave coming in, pushing this lane back and getting a little bit of damage on the camp here. We're going to see only about 10% of that thing's health. But so far, Illidancing Queens has not elected to come down and stall out this camp, so it's going to get the full wall down as well. So both teams have the wall on the opposite side down. Healing wells are available still, so both teams do have that defensive utility. Only one siege camp available, and it's on the side of Illidancing Queens, so they're going to go ahead and get started on this. But both teams have heroics. And so far, at least neither team going to send somebody to the bottom there. Misha going in deep with the big stun. Hooked on Phoenix pops the Divine Shield. And Wailing Arrow coming out. Varian in the middle of everybody here is going to be able to walk away. It looks like Sylvanas and Malfurion not so lucky, though, as now Tracer is going to get the kill onto Vala. Hits that rewind and gets out. Now Varian probably stuck it out a little bit too long there, but has to pull back. And Misha's going to be able to stall this out at least for a bit here. So they do have to be careful of the Tracer. And all of the members of ReGen Anomaly are back. Sylvanas and Malfurion are coming. And this is what I was going to mention earlier, is this, like, one person should just go down and get this. And it looks like it's going to be Tracer. I don't think they can stall it either. Vala's coming back as well now, so this is 5-on-5, but the health bars of Illidancing Queens are just lower. So both altars going to go over here to ReGen Anomaly. Even with the kills that Illidancing Queens had, they had the advantage on kills, but they just couldn't get the channel on the altars. And pushing the Tracer and Varian out ultimately just led for them to head down into the bot lane and pick that up. Big stun onto Tracer, but she's able to rewind out of there here. The smash coming in, and Malfurion's going to fall. There goes Tracer as well. They're looking for Varian, so again, you know, this is, we saw this earlier with the Uther, but this was a little bit more of a commitment. ReGen Anomaly looking to get damage onto that fort, ultimately now trading 3 lives for 10% of that fort's health, and they're going to lose their own fort in this circumstance. Let's actually see how much XP this gives. 1200 XP for the fort. Valkymer, so generally speaking, skins and mounts are like, if you don't bring them up within a certain period of time, then it's whatever. Otherwise, you can remake the game if it's early. That said, if you used a bugged interaction, like, you know, if you use the train to do something with Alex Strauzer or something, then yeah, that would end up being a forfeit. So this is a really strong push here from Illidancing Queens, although it's also a strong defense because none of these have gotten through. Fury Popsicle going to survive thanks to that Ancestral. And Rexar's chasing down here. The Ragnaros is going to be able to get out. Now they need a zone for this. Fury Popsicle doesn't have a whole lot of health. Probably has the... maybe not. Never mind. So Rexar's going to get the stall onto Rhaegar. And with that... oh, the Divine Shield coming out just in time. So they get the kill onto Tracer. And Ragnaros is pretty low here. So they have no... like, actual tank. They do have Uther if he goes in and performs that role. But not really doing so. And that leaves the Vala exposed. And that's going to be the kill onto Vala. So... going to be 3 points here going over to ReGen Anomaly. And they're pinging now for their for the bottom fort. So these fights have been really interesting. I mean, the fights right now, the kill score is slightly in favor of Illidancing Queens, and in most fights it feels like they've won the fights, but then they lose the objectives. It's been a good, you know, good while since they got the early objectives there. So 30-17 right now. So partially timing on that, but also just simply the sustain, I suppose, because they've got the Rhaegar and Uther, but they're finding themselves so often very low in health and not able to continue on here. So Lava Wave is going to come into the bot lane, try to help secure the camp going into the tower. Rexxar is going to be down here, so this is going to net them a 5v4 fight. Varian's going to go in there onto the Vala. Wailing Arrow coming out. Varian having to pull back, does have that protect. Blessed Shield went out, but I think it missed. Condemn here, and they're trying to continue. They get Carve on the Sylvanas, and there go the Sappers to bring down the tower just a bit. Varian here getting stunned and is falling very low, is going to fall. And that's, you know, again, this is a 2-for-0 trade. So this is a fantastic time for Illidancing Queens to win this fight with a triple altar coming up. But so far, they've done this a couple of times. So far, they've won these fights, but then they're unable to capitalize on it. This is a perhaps easier time. I don't think that they go for the aggressive one at all. I think they just focus on getting the bot as they are with Uther, and they need to send somebody back. There's no reason for them to spend time on this. Now they put themselves at risk. They really just needed to zone for their player here. They end up getting it, so that's 10 points to the 3. So that's going to level things out a little bit closer here. And here comes ReGen Anomaly. We got 5 of them pushing into the lane here, into this narrow passageway, and Uther getting the double kill onto Sylvanas and Malfurion. The Boar's coming out here, and Full Mango looks like he should be able to make it out. This is all 5 of them. They're going to call for the boss, and that's a fine call. I mean, Varian and Tracer are down here in the bottom, and they need to get these points equalized a bit here. And there's no real opportunity for ReGen Anomaly to come stop this either, so... Oh, there's the stun. They're looking for this Rexxar. They're gonna get him. And there is still a pretty decently sized wave up here in the top that is holding on to the wave. They're gonna get these Pumpkin Sappers as well. I think ideally, yeah, they need to try to get as much damage onto this fort as they can, see if they can't get the points out of this. That rain was on point. Like, they were fighting in a very narrow corridor there, and Rain of Vengeance just said, pause. Yeah, the upgrade thing happens around the 12-minute mark when the when this Waygate exit shows up in the middle. It doesn't seem to always be right at exactly 12 minutes though, because I've seen it a few seconds after. So this is really positive here for ReGen Anomaly. Although Rexxar's up in the top here, so... Oh, the interrupt on the Twilight Dream is going to net the kill onto Malfurion. They may even get Varian here, Varian taunting the Vala, but there's nothing happening with that. And there you go. Oh, and they didn't even get it! Oh no! The tower's still up. I think this was too late. They should have, they honestly should have just waited on that point. Waited to pick this up and then fired it off, because Rexxar sure as heck isn't getting this before they got that. So that would have been another point. But level 20s, I don't think I showed 16, sorry guys. Level 20 is now available here for Illidancing Queens. And they're getting to this point now where these kills that they get, because the res timers are longer, are more impactful. Yeah, Ektar not getting the bot keep, that one moment, that 1 point. I was originally going to say it was kind of a strong place there for ReGen Anomaly if they got that keep, because it meant it would be a little bit easier for them to retreat into that bottom altar area. But they didn't get the keep and ended up losing the fight. So Rexxar gets top back. Here comes Lava Wave, is going to help to push back the team, and Molten Core is going to be popping off as well. Keep in mind there is a double Lava Wave potential here from Ragnaros as well. Blinded by the Light's going to come out. Carve taking so much damage there. If Vala hadn't missed that, never mind, Rag got it. I was going to say if Vala hadn't missed that Hungering Arrow, then Carve dies. We see Uther going into the death zone, getting the kill onto the Rexar as well. And now 9-14, the altar in the mid is coming up. This is potentially 5 more points, leaving just 3 remaining. The boss is up in 2 minutes, so that gives ReGen Anomaly 2 minutes to kind of catch their breath, get level 20. There is a camp up top, minute on the left camp, minute 20 on the right camp. So that's where we're at right now. It looks like they're gonna rotate down, try to defend here. Liderock getting stunned. The root's coming out to zone out, but it goes away before they can get anything. So Lid's gonna be the first to fall there. And what are Illidancing Queens going to do now? Do they start working on trying to get a 6 cap, or do they just go top lane and get the... I think they go top lane and get the Sapper camp. I don't even... Well, they've got 2 altars coming up. They can just play for that. At this point, if they can keep the bottom keep here and then just zone them out, then that pretty much guarantees them the game. Let's see, what's this one look like? Structure 5800 to 7850, so about 2000, 2050 from a keep, so quite a boost in XP there. And so with this kill onto this top fort, if they're able to get that shaman camp or pumpkin sapper camp, whatever it is, then maybe they don't get it. There's the silence. They're gonna lose the Uther there. Now, does he have redemption? He does not. Ragnaros falling very low. The ancestral going out onto Born. I think that was destined for Ragnaros. They do get the kill onto Sylvanas though, so Johanna popping that iron skin, and with that level 16, especially with Tracer's help, getting quite the movement speed. Now, they still have this threat. I mean, ReGen Anomaly is heading to the bot, but these pumpkin sappers win the game. And really, like, if you're going to be down here, you may as well come get this bottom keep out. Tracer's going to head over there now and get it for neither. So they lost 2 points there. Oh, and they're going for the boss. Oh, okay. All right, so they're pulling ReGen Anomaly away from these pumpkin sappers, and ladies and gents, there it goes. The game is over. Quite the misdirection play there by Illidancing Queens to head over there, pick up the sappers, go to the boss, show the boss, because either one of those wins. Either one of those wins. 11 kills to 22 here in favor of Illidancing Queens. And again, I mean, like I said, in the game there, it felt like a lot of those team fights were going their way, but they were losing the objectives for, you know, stall or what have you. And so as it got later in the game, it really felt like they were kind of taking control as the res timers went more in their favor. There we go. Just letting the teams know about the train mount ban there, so that they are on the same page. Just in case. All right, so check out the talents here. Level 20 did come online there toward the end for ReGen Anomaly. Varian, Rexar, and Tracer. Alrighty. I believe Born was the evil mastermind. You know what? I believe it. Although I don't think Born's the shot caller. So, let's see. Put out a broadcast just to make sure everybody knows. since somebody just asked me where we're at. Arrow of the storm. Arrow or the storm? That could be another version, I suppose. See where we're gonna go, what we're gonna do for game number 2. Let's take a look at the maps here while we're waiting to hear back from them here. I haven't given them their points, so let me do that real quick. So again, ReGen Anomaly banned out Cursed Hollow and Dragonshire. Illidancing Queens banned out the Tomb of the Spatter Queen and Alterac Pass, and then our first game there was on Towers of Doom. So that was picked by ReGen. It was won by the Illidancing Queens. So I think that ideally, if ReGen picks the map, I think we want to see something like an Infernal Shrines or maybe even a Sky Temple. Something with some more macro. But let's see. The game is afoot, and it's going to be Infernal Shrines. I don't know who picked it, though. So we'll find out. Alpha, hey, everybody wants you to say hi. You want to come here? Wow, her bottom lip was quivering so much. Hey, come here. Want to come say hi? Rawr. There we go, huh? Say hi to everybody. Hello, everybody. Big yawn, huh? You need a bath. You smell. Let's find out who picked this map. Who picked? Oh, you gotta come up a little bit higher, otherwise they can't see you. There you go. Is that good? Why you gotta look at me crazy like that, huh? Alright, ReGen wanted first pick, so this is a pick of Illidancing Queens. There we go. Alright, well, let's take a look here. What do we got? So Illidancing Queens on Infernal Shrines. This is one of their most played maps. They've played it 3 times, won it twice. ReGen Anomaly has played it once, and they won it. So overall, could be a strong map for both teams here. Now, it looks like the teams are all loaded here. I demand a treat. I have something for you. She doesn't get a whole lot of treats because she's a little husky here. And so the only real treats that I have for them are their bedtime treats. Which I think right now she is all kinds of interested in. She is, I don't know if you can see her eyes. She's just like, they're just so droopy. Makes you miss your chihuahua and he's downstairs. I love it. Alrighty, here. Let them know that we're all set. I wonder if she's small enough, like, if she could actually fit. She probably could fit in the hood. So, true story, when I got Alice, she was a little bit smaller than Alpha is. And I got her from Des Moines. I lived in Illinois at the time. It was a 5-hour drive. And so she was 8 weeks old. And so she whined and whined and whined. So she actually sat behind me, behind my neck, when I drove back. And that was the only way I could get her to be quiet. It was the middle of winter. Yeah, Alice looks more like a husky. But it was the middle of winter, and she was 8 weeks old, so it would have been like late January, early February. She might have been 6 weeks old. And so anyway, so because of that, every time we got in the car after that, she had to sit right there, right behind my neck. And she did that for a long time. until she was about 5 months or so. I mean, she was like 35 pounds. Eventually I just had to be like, no, you can't do this anymore. But like, it was kind of funny. I started going to McDonald's more regularly because the drive-through more regularly. I almost never went, and then I started going just because of how they responded to this. Looks like it's game time. And they and we started going more regularly because they absolutely just loved seeing her. She was, you know, at this point 25, 30, 35 pounds, you know, a fairly sizable dog sitting on my shoulders, you know. But eventually couldn't do that anymore. So we're gonna see the ban onto Deathwing. All right, it's time to go. We're gonna go back to your seat. Here you go. There you go. All right, so we did see Deathwing banned out last game. It was also Oriole from ReGen Anomaly. Now they may look to take Oriole. Let's see, on Infernal Shrines, we're gonna see Deathwing first. And there goes continuing with the Kael'thas ban. So yeah, the treats that I have from are these. They're called greenies, and she actually, Alpha just had some teeth taken out. Johanna's going to be the ban out, so leaving the choice now to Illidancing Queens to decide, do they want to leave that Oriole up? I think the answer to that question is no. But anyways, they get these greenies, and they're not like, she already didn't find them easy to chew, to you know, break down even for the smallest of them. But the one of her teeth was the big one that was taken out. Oriole's going to be taken out there as well, and so it takes her a little bit longer to get through them, but she absolutely still just goes nuts over having them. Yeah, Ektar, none of my dogs really understand that. They do okay. First pick of the game is going to be ETC. A hero we did not see picked or banned. Yeah, the greenies are really nice, and they love them. The dogs go absolutely bonkers for them. All right, so we're gonna see a different tank here. Could see a Garrosh. Could see a Blaze as a main tank. But we're sticking with that Vala Rhaegar, so that worked out well for them in game number 1. Cool. Well, there you go. Yeah, those are the only treats I have are the greenies, so, you know, kind of a lot. Oh, Shui, I didn't even see the the finger on Alpha. I love it. All right, going into Jaina and Ragnaros. So a little bit of a swap here. Ragnaros switching sides, and Carve going to be picking up the Jaina. My one dog eats drywall stuck. All right, so we're not going to see a Leoric ban because they've already got the Ragnaros. Might look to maybe an Ana or a Malfurion. Okay. And over here for ReGen Anomaly. So last time they banned out the Tassadar, which left them with the Uther. We're going to stick with that Tassadar. All right, so for the Illidancing Queens, we could see a Gul'dan still. They've got the Vala. Gul'dan would give them pretty significant shrine clear. Li Ming less so, but still could be something to play into this. They also still need their tank. They could go for a Diablo. And this is going to be the main tank Uther, so I think. Maybe not. Maybe not, because Fury Popsicle played the tank last time. All right, we're gonna see the healer. I think it's Ana. I think Ana's the way for them to go, personally. and it's going to be Lunara. So they're going to have pretty good shrine clear. Nature's Culling, we've got Ragnaros's many abilities. He's also got the ability to pop that Molten Core and splash all over the place. I'm rooting for ReGen for this one so that we can get 3 maps, then I'll return to my state of neutrality. Fair enough. Gonna be Muradin, the final pickup here for Illidancing Queen. So let's make sure that they didn't swap anybody, although I don't expect that to be the case. And let's go ahead and... Oh! Could not delete poll. Of course not, because there isn't one. Let me put a new one up. All right, who's gonna win game number 2? Is it gonna be ReGen Anomaly taking first pick, looking for that ETC Mosh Blizzard blow up, or is it gonna be that double support combo with the Sonya and the Muradin stuns coming out, looking for maybe that isolated kill to burst down a hero with the Vala? Who do you think's gonna win game number 2? Go to the wrong one. Go to the above the chat on your screen there and select who you think's gonna win this game. Illidancing Queens has a lot of sustain. Even aside from having the double healer, their tank, their solo laner both have pretty significant self-sustain. Vala eventually can have some, depending on what build she looks to go. I kind of expect her to go into Gloom, so she probably won't have that. She probably doesn't need it with 2 healers and the tanks not needing as much. Less self-sustain on the side of ReGen Anomaly, but they got a buttload of damage. Nano Boosted Jaina says IQ is super squishy. That's true. That is true. I mean, they do have the armor out of Uther though, so again, I mean, depending on how they build it. We've also got the potential again for a Divine Shield. I think with this, yeah, I was gonna say maybe the Divine Storm would be better, but I think with this, actually, Divine Shield probably is still better, probably still the better option because of the potential for blow up. And if you can get a Divine Shield on somebody and they've blown all their cooldowns on that person, then great. You also then have the Ancestral that you can pop off on them as well. All right, so most of the team are loading up here. Born's still a little bit behind, so we'll have a few moments on that. And sounds like most everybody got their trains turned off. Although one missed. And it looks like Illidancing Queen's coming in with the 60% on this game. I believe that's what game number 1 was. I think they were in favor of that one, 60%. I remember the number was 60%. That gives me some bonus points, right? All right, so as Rhaegar has left and rejoined and left the game again, we'll get these teams introduced. On the right, currently sitting up 1-0, is Illidancing Queens. We've got Fury Popsicle playing Muradin, Yotaru on Vala, Hooked on Phoenix playing Uther, Rhaegar going to be played by Born to Shine, and then Sestrin on the Sonya. Over here for ReGen Anomaly, looking to make the score equalized at 1-1. We've got Genjis playing Lunara, Littlerock on ETC, Carve playing Sylvanas, Full Mango on Ragnaros, and Anners on Ana. And as mentioned, the train did get pulled out there, but hopefully they don't do anything silly like I could see maybe Rag having a bugged interaction with that, considering it's heroes that can't mount normally. Like maybe something with his Molten Core could get a little awkward, but hopefully we don't see any of that today. So the rotation coming down, we've got ETC here hanging onto this bush. And a lot of damage coming out on both sides, ultimately. Lid getting healed back up a bit there. And Fury Popsicle just kind of hanging out, saying, I'm going to hold this line. Everybody else get out. It's going to be third wind there for Murden. So he's, again, that heavy sustain. And Ragnaros, in the last game, went the Blast Wave build. In this game, Ragnaros is going the Sulfurious Smash. Hungers? Smash. Hungers. Smash is the ability. Another change in talents here. Lunara taking Hippity Hop, so she's going to get that extra movement speed, helping her to rotate a little bit faster between the lanes. Everything else pretty similar here. We've got the block talent, Tough as Nails for Sonya. And Block Party there for ETC as well. So Ana going into the Sleep Darts. Getting some slows. And depending on the rest, may get that percent damage, may get the ability damage reduction here. Power Slide coming in, looking for the Uther. Ana Grenade going out as well. But so far, no kills in this game. Just about 2 minutes. Ana has a bugged interaction with Train. Great. Yeah, well, probably if it's somebody else's Train, and Anders is the one that has the Train, so should be okay with that. Oh no, did I not change the pop-up? Or did I just say Sylvanas? Well, Carv's playing Jaina. Could have been on autopilot there. So far, just the mid siege camps picked up by either team. ETC getting the knockback onto Murden here. And Fury Popsicle taking a bunch of damage. The stun going out onto Lid, keeping him from preventing that Murden from getting out. And the third wind will get Fury Popsicle healed up pretty quickly. As ReGen Anomaly going to head down, clear up this mid lane, or this bottom lane, and probably get this camp, yeah. Nature's Culling going to help out with that. Get that cleared out very quickly. That's going to give the rotation up to top lane for Illidancing Queens to get right onto the Ragnaros there. Nearly taking them down, and the Shrine is now available. And this is going to be a Frozen Punisher, so it's not one you really want to just leave out there, because it does have the potential to take that whole fort, much more so than the others. But that said, with this siege camp and the Nature's Culling, Lunar's getting some value in the bot lane there. Sleep going to hit onto 2. ETC going to get a big power slide onto 4 to keep him alive, but also to get some damage out there. Lunara now back with the team as the siege camp will do the rest. And here comes Rag popping the Molten Core. And I don't know. Illidancing Queens is going to pull back. Murden's going to head up there to tap, and they're going to get about halfway out of the Molten Core. But they'll be able to come back in, so we'll see if the Molten Core was better used there, or if it would have been better used on a defense, because they were already at 34. ETC is going to get the big stun, and with that armor sustaining through all of it, Born to Shine falling very low as Lunara just poking in the backline there, and it is going to be the Punisher going over to Illidancing Queens. Lid using that power slide to help carve there. This is a little bit of a danger play here, because any one of these heroes, including ETC, could just fall if they're not careful on the bait. But Lunar's going to get caught by the root, and there's first blood. Sonya and Uther coming in with those stuns. Vala Head went down to the bot lane to clear up, and it's going to be ETC. And with those kills, this is going to be a mid-fort going down in favor of Illidancing Queens. And that's a big wave in mid that Ana's going to try to gather as much soak out of as possible. Jaina in the bot lane here. And Siege Camp going to be invade successful for Illidancing Queens. Going to head over to their own as well. Ultimately going to have quite a bit of pressure in that mid lane, forcing ReGen Anomaly to address all of that. Come in here and clean up the lane, deal with the next Siege Camp. Ultimately, they only have the Ragnaros gathering soak at this point, so... And right now, it looks like we've got a Danger Bush set up, looking for the rotation. not enough patience there to hang it out, so they decide to go on in. And Murden used his jump, so he's in a little bit of an exposed position there, but ReGen Anomaly was just not in a position to really capitalize on that. But Ragnaros here needs to probably consider getting out. Did get a little bit of value out of that camp, and pulling out gives him the opportunity to get back and tap if he needs to, but also head down into the mid lane to get that soak. Both of the teams are pretty equal in XP here so far. Although the minion XP definitely more in favor of ReGen Anomaly so far. Double sleep there coming from Ana, and Fury Popsicle is gonna get taken out, I think. Yeah, absolutely. Good knockback, follow up by a stun to get the kill there onto that Murden. Can't jump out if you're stunned. And that kill's gonna give ReGen Anomaly 10s first. They got that lava wave. Thank you, Ragnaros. Mosh Pit, Nano Boost, Ring of Frost, and the Leaping Strikeout of Lunara. Level 10's coming up here now for Illidancing Queens, as it looks like Ragnaros is going to be in danger and fall, and it is going to be that Divine Storm. So it is what I was thinking at the beginning there. They've got the Ancestral, they've got the Avatar, Rain of Vengeance, and Sonya popping off with the Wrath of the Berserker. Now bot lane is the next Punisher, so getting this down, even if they don't get it down, just getting it most of the way down is huge for them. Stun onto Ana now. Ana is getting stunned by Uther and by Vala, but the leaping strike getting so much onto Vala. And I'm not even entirely sure how Rhaegar managed to hit that Ancestral, because they were right on top of each other. Lunara trying to make it away here, as ETC and Uther both fell in that combat as well, as I was busy talking about the Ancestral. Lazy Hydra, I don't want to see Lava win twice in a row. Fair enough. Well, Ragnaros rather will have Molten Core. Yeah, he does. So he can use that to defend, but he's actually got to be down here, and the shrine is done. So Ragnaros is coming around here. This is an Arcane Punisher, and it's all 5 in the bot here. Murden hanging onto the bush, but doesn't matter. There's nobody there. Ragnaros looking to take that Molten Core, and is going to go ahead and pop that off. Punisher already at half health before the Molten Core was even picked up, so it is going to save a little bit of damage onto the core here, or I'm sorry, onto the fort. And they're looking for this siege camp. Now, also, got to be careful of these rotations. There's Uther looking for the Lunara. Big Divine Storm going to take her out. Littlerock on the ETC is going to be able to get out. The Ring of Frost manages to hit a few, but unfortunately just a little bit too late to keep the Lunara alive there. And that was just an example of following your Wisp a little bit too soon, too close. 6 kills to 2. We've got 19 stacks on Murden's Stormbolt level 1 trait quest there. And Ragnaros gathering that XP and pushing out the mid lane there, keeping the siege camp cleared up. Gonna head back up to the top there now, work on getting that camp, as 13 out of the 15 required for the ReGen Globe quest. And this is a 5-on-4 in the bot lane with talent advantage, so they do have to be a little bit careful because of the towers, and ReGen Anomaly has been hanging out pretty close to those towers, making sure that they're relatively safe. But thanks to the Molten Core there, this bottom fort took almost no damage, and pulling it over the wall, even the towers only sitting at half health. So really good job on ReGen Anomaly to make use of their tools to get that down quickly. Illidancing Queens just didn't have the pressure to be able to put a lot of damage onto that structure because of that. Is this Abolish Magic? Sure is. So Abolish Magic is mostly going to help with like a Stormbolt, or I guess a Divine Storm if they can get it off quickly. It's not going to help Lunara at all. Like, there's nothing there that Lunara can get rid of off of herself. But she can get it off of Ragnaros, but Ragnaros is going to die so quickly there. Ring of Frost coming out. The Blizzard's going to take out Uther. Rain of Vengeance is going to miss Lunara again. She's just looking for Vala. Not quite able to get it. ETC's going in, trying to maybe get onto the Sonya, but ultimately with the 2 kills for 1, and there's still a healer and a tank and another tank basically on the other side, they just have to kind of pull back. And that's just being a little bit too far forward with so many of Illidancing Queens available. Makes it a little difficult there to get that to work out. Got to be a little bit more defensive there. So next shrine is going to be Mortar. It's going to be in the top lane. Both of the teams have their forts up in the top lane here, so neither of them has a distinct advantage. But at least for right now, Ragnaros is going to clear out that mid lane and get things started here on the point. Yeah, I mean, he had the mosh, but I don't think he really... I think he probably would have died. I mean, they only had the 1 player for damage. Speaking of dying here, Lidarok trying to make it out is not going... In fact, tried to use the mosh pit there to save himself, but just wasn't in a good position to do that. Ragnaros is going to get some more of the... shrine minions here, and also, you know, just defend, basically push the other team back a little bit, although they do have level 16, so I think Carve needs to be a little bit more careful here. He does have ice block, but I mean, there's so many stuns. Speaking of stuns, hooked on Phoenix with a big D-storm. Lunara getting the leap out of there, but it's gonna be Ana falling first, and everybody is so low. Fury Popsicle with the kill on the Stormbolt. And even the Hungering Arrow there from Vala nearly taking out Full Mango there. And yeah, so it is going to be Gloom here for Vala. So she doesn't have her own self-sustain, but she's got the damage reduction for spell power, which is very helpful into the Lunara and Jaina, giving her a lot more tankiness. And ultimately keeping her alive, because she would have died for sure when Lunara was on her face about 12 feet from where she is right now. So Ragnaros is going to try to push up this lane, see if he can't get some value out of those catapults. Yeah, no fear Murden, no doubt. That Murden had a couple hundred health and was like, I'm gonna go as close to that fort as I can, get the kill, and then walk away. Like, oh, look at Genji's here getting stunned, double stunned, and the Punisher finishing the job. Punisher's still sitting about half health, so I mean, this is still really strong for Illidancing Queens. There's the jump onto Carve. Uther, however, taking the shots, is going to get the Ancestral. Full Mango now the target. We get a big mosh pit there with a Ring of Frost. They got to get more kills out of this. They get the 2. Carve keeping the Murden slowed and rooted there for a moment, but has to be careful because Murden just pops a Stormbolt right in his face. Ultimately, I think that's about the best that you could have hoped for in that circumstance, with the mosh pit locking him down with the Ring of Frost. You know, maybe they could have done a little bit more out of that. I'm not sure, but I mean, they did use their abilities on it. So really, with the Lunara being unavailable, I think that's about as good as they could have hoped for, getting those 2 kills. All right, Shaman Camp going to be picked up. The Siege Camp being picked up here for Illidancing Queens. 17 to 18. IQ is just slightly ahead in this level 20 race. And there are only 2 camps on the map available. And does Rag scout this? No, he just walks into the bush. So Rag is lucky that there wasn't a bush gank. We've seen several bush ganks here set up that simply Illidancing Queens didn't have the patience to complete, and Rag's lucky that wasn't one of them. Top lane, the Shaman is going to get some value here. The team is rotating up. They're going to deal with that, and Illidancing Queens is going to get their own Shaman camp on the map. And of course, this is going to be supported by occasional catapults. Imagine we didn't feed before the fight. Exactly. Yeah. Imagine that we had all 5 of our players and suddenly things change. Speaking of things changing, here's ETC coming in, looking for the Sonya. Rain of Vengeance is going to hit onto Genji's, but there's no follow-up, so able to get out. Now, ETC, though, not so lucky. And there are just so many stuns and slows. Every single person on the side of Illidancing Queens has a stun, with the exception of Rhaegar, who has a hefty slow. I mean, this is a 90% slow. And that's going to give them level 20 here soon, too. Oh, they're looking for the Ragnaros, too. Ragnaros is going to get stunned for sure here. He pops his Blast Wave to try to get out, and that's going to give them enough time and space to do so. But with this Minion Wave coming in, there you go. I was going to say, we might need to see Molten Core. Otherwise, they probably just lose this. Blue team apparently just destroyed this fort in the middle thanks to their Minion Wave, so equalizing things up in the middle, that's actually really positive for them on the shrine. If they can actually get the shrine, then they're going into a core, or sorry, a keep. They're still down half a level though. They need to get level 20s. Let's take a look at what we've got here from Illidancing Queens. Right now it's going to be the Storm Shield from Rhaegar. Divine Hurricane. This is a super short cooldown now, so it reduces the cooldown by 40 seconds. It's now half the cooldown. That's oftentimes that's twice in a fight. Rewind for Muradin, Farfight, Quiver for Vala, and Ignore Pain there for Sonya. And this is a little sketch. I think that they're a little far forward for not having these level 20s, but there's level 20s. Is going to be the Ring of Frost upgrade, Cold Snap. And here comes a Lava Wave, the second Lava Wave that Ragnaros has. The root there onto Muradin, but they're really spread out here. The stun going out onto ETC, Rain of Vengeance. Lunara, however, the one that's falling really low here. Ring of Frost hitting 3, but its lid falling so low again. Has the mosh pit, but hasn't been able to find a good one. Looking for it now, maybe, but the stun coming out from Uther is going to keep that from happening. And full Mango in retreat is going to fall thanks to the Blade Storm coming out from, or Whirlwind rather, from Sonya. Jaina getting the stall there with the Ice Block. And with 4 heroes dead, rather, Illidancing Queens is going to finish off the Punisher here. And this is, again, it's a frozen Punisher, so they can pretty well burn through this keep. And it's just Lunara as the defense. A lot of damage there onto Vala already, but only has a moment to get this damage as the wall's going down. They're now going to get the stun chain combo. It's not looking good for ReGen Anomaly. And the GG's being called here as the Punisher making its way onto the core, and the damage coming heavy. Lava Wave's gonna come out, but there's not enough. So many stuns. All right, so I'm gonna showcase stats. I'll see if I can get somebody in here for an interview, and then I'll put up a vote in chat for a replay cast. We'll do a replay cast over this. Why not? So if you want to stick around for a replay cast, don't go anywhere. So 5 kills to 19. You know, again, the fights in this game were oftentimes more in hand for Illidancing Queens. They had their CC chain, and it really worked wonders for them. I also feel like Anomaly had a little bit aggressive positioning on some of their squishier heroes, and it's difficult to find that balance when you're talking about, you know, your ETC. You know, where's that position that you can be far forward or far enough forward, but not too far forward so that your team can do what they need to do, but you don't die. And with all of those stuns, it just makes it so difficult to find that correct positioning. And I think that that's what they struggled with, having, you know, Uther pop off a stun, and you know, a Muradin come in with it as well. Let me see here. All right, so Born hasn't responded. See if I can catch them in their Discord. Somebody's responding. All right, we're gonna get hooked on Phoenix here. All right, so we've got hooked on Phoenix here. Welcome and congratulations on your victory there over ReGen Anomaly. Can you hear me?
Yeah, how's it going?
Great. All right, how you doing?
Great.
So, how excited are you guys about this win?
Pretty excited because I believe after checking the standings, that puts us up into 3rd place in the division.
It sure does. It actually leapfrogs you right over ReGen Anomaly.
It is pretty tight in C East. So yeah, every point that we can get really helps.
Yeah, absolutely. I showed that earlier. The positioning. You guys have played one more match than they have overall. So, and a couple of other teams like Die for Vision is sitting at 3. Hanamaru Drift is sitting at 3. So there's, they've got one more. You got one more game than many of the teams out there. So that makes it even closer, right? Because it means that all these teams are within a point or two of each other of these games. So, getting this win over ReGen Anomalies pretty awesome for you guys, and especially considering just the overall midpoint of the season coming after essentially a 2-week break, right?
Yeah.
And getting a very strong showing. So congratulations on that.
Thanks. Yeah.
So Towers of Doom, for the first half of the game, it looked very much like it was ReGen Anomaly's game. That said, you guys were in a position where you were often winning fights but losing objectives, like almost every time for the first 10-12 minutes of the game. So how did you guys kick it into overdrive and ultimately win that? Or was it literally just longer res timers and we win?
I think that certainly helped. I also think getting level 10s helped a lot, but it was we just needed a little bit of push to get the momentum to swing. The Towers of Doom is such a momentum focused map, so I think the real turning point was once we were able to take that bottom bell tower. But really, a lot of it was just making sure we were more coordinated, getting our calls in line, and really, just actually being focused and turning the fight wins into an objective win, because we definitely did notice the exact same problem.
Now, that obviously was not as much of a problem in game number 2. You guys drafted a very beefy team with the double support, along with 2 frontliners that could sustain themselves, on top of the fact that you also had just stuns upon stuns upon stuns. So how did that, obviously you guys barely changed your draft at all. It was almost exactly the same, right? Except for the Sonya. And so was that always the plan, to go into this with the same draft, or did it adjust at all when they were showing theirs, or the bans or anything?
It was mostly the bans. We had a similar sort of game plan. Figured if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But we were a little surprised that they banned out Deathwing with the first pick. So we figured we had to do a slight adjustment, and we were able to. We banned the Oriole then, I believe, was the counter there.
You did.
So
yeah.
it was a little surprising with the. I wasn't expecting a Lunara. I was expecting the Ana definitely, but I don't think what they did changed our goals enough that we needed to change things up on the fly.
Sure. Now, do you do the drafting for the team, or is that somebody else?
It's about 50% me and 50% the rest of the team's input.
Okay, yeah, we kind of do the same thing, so I get that. So I, I have to do this. I'm sorry. It's Rex's fault. Just want to shout out that it is apparently 4:20 in the afternoon. So if anybody does special moments and whatnot, enjoy your time. But anyways, so with that input, when does Born get to play Brightwing?
That if I have my way, the answer is never. But we'll see. We'll see. That's it's a possibility.
All right, fair enough. I had to get that out there. Born and I go way back to season 6 playing together, and and obviously her love of Brightwing, so had to ask it.
Brightwing has seen a little bit of change recently, and it is still to be determined if she's worth playing. So
fair enough. I do like some of those changes, just as somebody who's played a lot of her.
I just like anything that makes more heroes viable. I'm always a fan of seeing more variety. So
sure. So what do we have to look forward to in the second half of the season? Are there any teams that you guys are particularly excited to play against or concerned to play against that that you maybe have to set aside a little bit more time to kind of plan for?
Well, I think the biggest thing is just making sure that we stay consistent. So the team we have to play against the most is ourselves, and really, if we can beat ourselves in every game, then I'm pretty happy. But just gotta say, we are in the division of all the calculated throws. So I gotta say, they're throwing 3 teams in there. It seems a little unfair, but I've got my eye on calculated throw Anomaly Drift right now, because they have absolutely the best name out of all of them.
And of note, calculated throw Hanamura Drift is one of the 2 remaining flex matches you guys have. You did get one of them played here a couple days ago, which has not yet been cast. Okay, I was gonna say I thought I remembered seeing that, but I guess I cast somebody else instead. So good on you guys to get one of those done, one of those flex matches done, and hopefully, given the moniker of your support healer there, that you guys will get the rest of those scheduled soon, right?
yeah. Our last one was Please Clap It. They definitely are in first in the division for a reason. So they're a tough one.
Sure. Good deal. All right, well, last question for you here, and then we'll get into shoutouts. Was there any particular moment from the game here today, either game really, whether it's something you did or your team did or the opponents did, that really stuck out as a highlight to you?
I think the best highlight was just the very end of game 1, that we were able to realize that we had them down to 3 points on their core, so we had win conditions on the altar, on the top lane sappers, and on the boss, and forced the other team to defend all of it, and unfortunately they weren't able to. So that was really the highlight for me.
That was a very well coordinated play, and I actually mentioned that as well, as you guys were heading up and they were heading down. Even being down players, there were so many options that it was very difficult for Anomaly to do anything without putting themselves at risk and losing the game anyway.
Yeah, it was. So, we definitely stuck them in a tough situation, and fortunately for us, they weren't able to answer. So
there you go. Well, good deal. All right, well, let's wrap this up for shoutouts, and then you can head off to any holiday dinners or whatever you've got going on for the afternoon.
Yeah, just thanks to everybody who was able to make the game today. Thanks for a good game, ReGen Anomaly. We had a good time, and thanks for casting it. So,
absolutely. Well, have a great New Year, and we'll see you again here soon.
Thanks. Happy New Year. Have a good night.
Thanks.